Hey guys, it's Chris here with Strength and Steel Reviews, certified personal trainer and reviewer of adjustable dumbbells. That's just all I do now. So we finally got the Snodes in. Due to popular demand, I've went ahead and I've ordered a pair for myself. Now it is true, they are as tough as everyone says. They also have a pretty fast adjustment system. They're a really cool design, but there are flaws. What are those flaws, you ask? Well, you're gonna have to hang around to find out. Let's get to the review. Alright, so just a quick reminder, I bought these dumbbells with my own money. So this review will be totally objective, it will be unbiased, as are all of my reviews. That said, if by the end of this review you're interested and you want to get a pair of the Snode AD80s for yourself, well, there's an affiliate link attached in the description, so check that out. So let's first just start off with all the things that I really like about these adjustable dumbbells. The first thing that stands out to me is the same thing that everybody really appreciates about the Snode. And it is that they are supremely tough and extremely well built. One of the standout features about these adjustable dumbbells is undoubtedly the cradle, which is something that in my experience is a rarity. Generally, cradles are made of plastic. They're more of an afterthought. They're just some kind of cheap seat for the adjustable dumbbells. They're an excuse to keep costs down. But here with these Snode AD80s, I mean, the cradle is so heavy. It's so sturdy. It's made of cast iron, which I think is a pretty confident statement by Snode about the quality of their adjustable dumbbells. Just like these cradles, the dumbbells are made entirely of cast iron. All of these plates are molded into one another. There are very few plastic components. It seems like they committed entirely to creating a reliable, durable dumbbell that would last any potential owners for a very long time. They look that way and they feel that way. They are indeed going to last you. I also really like how the ends are rounded, because for me, when I'm preparing to do a set of heavy incline presses or flat dumbbell presses or even a shoulder press, I really like the dumbbells to sit flat on my knees before executing the lift. I've had previous sets like the Ativa Fit adjustable dumbbells that are not flat-ended. As a result, they're kind of teetering on the edge of your knee, which distracts your focus from executing the lift. Fortunately, the Snodes do not have that qualm. Something else that I really like that I don't think gets enough attention are these knurled handles. Now, I saw Coop's review and he described them as kind of passive. I don't feel like they're passive. I feel like they're slightly aggressive. I really do. And I like them. Ordinarily, like a 34 to 36 millimeter handle does seem to be just right. And these are 36 millimeters and I think they work just fine. And because they're fixed, they feel just as sturdy as the rest of adjustable dumbbell. They're not like the Nuobells or my Trulaps, where the adjustment system is dependent upon the rotation of the handle. The adjustment system here is a dial-based system that lies on one side of the interior of the dumbbell. Essentially, you're just rotating this dial, and you don't need to rotate the dial on both sides of the dumbbell. You can rotate it on one. There are some pluses and some minuses here. I don't think it's spectacular, but I also don't think it's inept. Why I don't think it's spectacular is because, to me, if I'm looking at the cream of the crop, the best adjustment systems ever, by far and away, that is going to be the Trulaps and the Nuobells and the Core Fitness adjustable dumbbells. I just love that wrist rotation system. You twist the wrist and the weight adjusts. It's just so smooth, it's so easy, it's so nice. You don't need to take your hands off of the dumbbell, which is especially convenient if you're fluid, if you're in motion during your workouts, if you're performing drop sets. So for me, that is the best of the best. Then a step below that would be the Rep Pepins and their kind of pop pin adjustment system. I think this falls around there. It's fast, it's obviously simple, it's intuitive. I don't think the clicking sound is super satisfying. I guess it doesn't really need to be, but it's little things, right? But it is easy. I mean, you're just turning the dial. You have to take your hand off of the handle. For most people, they could care less. I know people love the Iron Masters and they love the Eisenlinks. They're willing to unscrew plates. So I doubt most people are going to have much of a concern when it comes to removing your hand from the handle of the dumbbell. For me, I'm being persnickety. I would rather not because I love that wrist style based adjustment system. If any of you share my love for wrist style based adjustment systems, please comment below. Tell me I'm not crazy, I love them. But no doubt this is still simple, it's easy to use, it's intuitive, and it's nice. Which would lead me to what is probably the largest con, the biggest drawback about these adjustable dumbbells, the weight increments. Now I've heard other reviewers speak of it and I just agree, I really do. I don't like having 10-pound weight increments. This thing goes from 10 to 80. Now there's a lot of accessory work, a lot of isolation exercises that are going to require less weight. Think lateral raises, think curls, and you're not going to want to jump up 10 pounds every time, especially for those smaller muscle groups. For me, the gold standard is always going to be 5-pound incremental weight jumps. But clearly for Snode to develop these adjustable dumbbells in the way that they have, that way being extremely tough and reliable, they probably needed to make some concessions with the design of the dumbbell, which I get. The more weight increments you have, the more complex the mechanism ultimately becomes, the more moving parts and pieces. I get it. And in doing so, they've created a set of adjustable dumbbells that can be dropped like a significant distance. I think it's 34 inches they are warranted to be dropped, which is significant and extremely rare. There are a lot of warranties out there for different adjustable dumbbells, but most of them don't include dropping them, which is probably one of the greatest concerns for many of you. For me, as I've detailed before, I don't really drop my adjustable dumbbells that often, so it's not as big of a plus for me, but there's no doubt that having any pair of adjustable dumbbells that you can drop and have the confidence in that they will still function, well, that's always good. And before any of you start yelling in the comments, I know that Snode is also offering those plate mates. I think these magnetic plates where you can add 2.5 pounds on either side. But as I've also said in previous videos, I personally don't like any dumbbells with external components. It's one of the reasons why I love my Trulaps so much. There are 26 different weight increments and I don't need to add anything to the dumbbell. Yeah, there are a lot of plates and they rattle a little bit, but for me, I would prefer that because that thing is just ready to go. And the more weight increments I have, the more versatile my training can be. As these Snode stand right now, they're not that versatile. 10-pound incremental weight jumps is nice, but for me, it is not enough. And then we should probably discuss the size of the Snode AD80s. In my opinion, the size of the Snode AD80s is a big plus. They look like dumbbells that you would find at a commercial gym. And to me, they really feel that way too. They feel really balanced in hand. I don't feel any uneven distribution of weight, probably due to having lesser weight increments and a much simpler design. They've managed to consolidate all of this weight into a really compact design, which I really appreciate. They look nice, they look sleek, they feel good in hand. The Snode AD80s, for what they are extremely well made. There's no way around that. If Snode does decide to eventually update this design, adding 5-pound incremental weight jumps would change the game. But then again, that might also enhance the size of the dumbbell. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. All right, so all that said, let's do a price comparison here between 3 sets. We're gonna do the Snodes, we'll do the Nuobells, and we will do the Trulaps. So the Snodes right now retail for $7.95, which is the cheapest of the 3 and undoubtedly a consideration for you. They max out at 80 pounds, it's a really good price. The Nuobells are $8.75, and those also go for 80 pounds. I'm not talking about the 100-pound version, I'm talking about the 80-pound version. Those are not as tough, but they do have that wrist style adjustment system. And then there are my Trulaps. Now the Trulaps go up to 92 pounds. They have 26 different weight increments, but those are $839. You're gonna get more weight, they're going to be less durable, but they're only $40 more. So depending on your style of training and what you value, that might be worth considering. But of those 3 fairly big names that are between 80 and 92 pounds, the Snodes are the most affordable. And of the 3, they are the toughest. So I think that makes them certainly worthy of your consideration depending on your training style. And okay, that's it for the review, guys. They are really tough. I love that the cradle is made entirely of cast iron. They feel really good and balanced in hand. The knurling to me is a little more aggressive, but I like the way it feels. I like the design of the handle. The adjustment system itself, though not as seamless and smooth and easy as a wrist style based adjustment system, is like 1 tier down, which is still pretty high up on my list of functional accessible, useful adjustment systems. Beyond that, I don't like that they cap out at 80 pounds, and I don't like that they operate in 10-pound weight increments. And there you go. We've got plenty more stuff coming in, plenty of reviews. So if you're not subscribed, you're gonna wanna subscribe. We've got some pretty awesome items coming, and I'm all in. I'm working hard, so stay tuned. Otherwise, you know the deal. Stay strong, stay steely, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.